KABHI MAIN KABHI TUM has just finished, and it was so good that the last episode was released in cinemas in Pakistan. But was it that good, or was it overhyped? And if it was that good, what was good about it? And what could have been better? This is what we will be discussing in this video, but this is my own version, which I call Super Hit, Teak, or Flop. And to rate this drama, I will be looking at 5 things: storyline and plot, character development, acting and performances, production quality, and pacing and engagement. I will be rating each of these out of 5, and the total score will determine where this drama ranks for me. Before we begin, right now, Abhi, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you like the video, please give it a like. First, let's look at the storyline and plot. Now, I don't think this is a very unique storyline. Matlab, we've seen all this before. The drama dives into a lot of the tropes and themes that we're very familiar with. The overbearing mother-in-law, the sibling rivalry, and the daughter-in-law made to be like a slave in the house. And at the end of the day, the useless brother becomes the one who saves the day. We've seen these Saas Bahu dramas before. But what I like is that the drama took this common theme and actually built on it and made a very good story around it. The plot dives into the 7 stages of love, and it blends humor, satire, and old school romance as well. There's also a lot of themes of jealousy, betrayal, sacrifice, and especially when you look at characters like Rubab, who uses deceit to satisfy herself, and all she cares about is basically being in control. And then you have Adil, who is a very dishonest character, and his actions cause a lot of almost like the break of the household. I think this drama had a lot of interesting themes as well. It is a very good reminder for parents and family members not to overly criticize or look down on children or other members of the family. It also teaches a good lesson about how to stick together through difficult times. It's not only the good times in life, there naturally will be difficult times as well. And I think looking at the dynamic of Sharjina and Mustafa, it was a very nice, wholesome story. For me, the ending was a bit predictable. Obviously, for me, I thought things were going to go the way they did, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It was still very entertaining to watch. So overall, I would give the storyline a 3.5 out of 5. I think one of the strongest parts of this drama was the character development. We spent a lot of time getting to know Sharjina and Mustafa, and it felt like we were a part of their relationship. We saw them navigating different situations, good times and bad times, and we saw them evolve together. Sharjina learns to adapt to Mustafa's lifestyle, and he also learns to become more serious, but he also takes that a bit too far. So I actually really like that challenge there, because even though he was trying, it still was like he had to learn even more stuff as well. And I like the fact that it was a complex thing, because it's not an easy situation to be in. And I think a lot of people who are married can also relate to those struggles as you go in your marriage with your partner. There are a lot of ups and downs, and this was, I think they really did a good job of showing us what that can be like. Even if you have a lot of love in your relationship, there will still be hard times, and you need to know how to navigate that together. And even if you have money, there will still be hard times. The grass is not always greener on the other side, as they say. To be honest, I feel like this drama was mainly about Mustafa's journey. I mean, yes, Sharjina had some character development, but I don't think it was as much as he did. I think this story was about him and his journey, and he had a very supportive character in Sharjina. But if you look at the other characters as well, I don't really think there was that much character development for the other characters. It was just for these two. The parents, honestly, were very annoying for me. But in the end, yeah, sure, they learned their lesson, great. Rubab and Adil, I mean, I think they remained the same throughout the whole drama. But I have a question for you guys. Do you think Rubab really loved Adil, or did she just want somebody to control? Please tell me in the comments, because I'm not sure. Especially when you look at the way she reacted to his betrayal. They didn't really show her very upset about it. It seemed like she was upset because almost like it was like an employee taking advantage of the boss, but we didn't feel it as like a wife being cheated by a husband. I don't know if you felt the same way, but that's what I was thinking. So I'm not sure, maybe it was a bit rushed, her reaction to it. They just focused on her wanting to get revenge, and that was it. I would have liked for them to show us more of her character, really feeling betrayed as a wife, not just as a boss. But overall, I would give the character development in this show 4 out of 5. The acting was another strong point of this drama. I've never watched Hania Amr before, but I thought she did really well. Shargina portrays a lot of emotional depth and resilience as she navigates the issues in the family and also her evolving relationship with Mustafa. Fahad Mustafa also did a very good job. He played that carefree, immature role very well. So much so that by the end of the drama, when he was more serious, I didn't really like it. So I understand what Shargina was complaining about, but I think he did a very good job. The other actors did very well as well. Naima Butt, I think she portrayed Rubab very well, but sometimes it seemed like she was reading her lines. I don't know how to explain it, but there was some of her dialogue that I just felt it wasn't as convincing because of the way she was delivering it. Maybe it's just me, but overall I enjoyed her characterization of the character. And Imad Irfani, I think he did a very good job as well. At first, I didn't like him playing this role because I didn't feel like it was convincing enough. You know, if you look at Imad Irfani, he looks like a rich guy. He looks like very well put together, like he has all his stuff figured out. It's like Superman, you know, he already looks put together. So when you're casting him in a role where he's supposed to be from a middle-class family and his brother is this loser guy, I was just like, oh, maybe they should have put somebody else in that role. But as the drama went on, I started to get used to it, and I think he did a very good job. So for the acting, I would give a 4 out of 5. Production quality, this is where I had my biggest issue with the drama, especially the sound quality. So many times I found in this drama, but not only this one, I've noticed it in a lot of Pakistani dramas, but this one I think there were too many times where the mic was not very clear at all, especially when the dad was talking. Most of his lines in the drama was very muffled. I don't know, maybe the position where they put the microphones on them, but I think that made the drama feel a bit cheap from a production quality point of view, because if you have nice clean sound, it makes it feel more professional. So that was something that really bothered me a lot. And also there was a time when Rubab was walking and you could see the mic attached to her. I mean, I understand, you know, like they don't have too much to work with and they have to make it work somehow. But I think at this stage in Pakistani filmmaking, the studios should be able to invest in proper film mics to avoid these issues so that the drama doesn't feel cheap and like homemade. But let me know, do you agree with me? This is just something that it's always been bothering me, and this show I really saw it a lot. Also, there were some times where there were small errors. There was one episode where Shargina and Mustafa were talking in the house and there was like a small dog or cat that ran and then it quickly cut. Those sorts of things, maybe most people didn't notice it, but I saw it, and for me, I was like, oh no, this just looks a bit cheap now. And also, when they moved into this neighborhood, there was this specific soundtrack of the train conductor shouting and the children playing outside, and they used the same soundtracks all the time. And so it was getting repetitive and it started to just feel a bit cheap again. I think they could just have gotten the original sound from outside and that would have worked just as well. But all these things that I've mentioned, these were just the things that sort of reduced the production quality for me, because overall the rest of the production was fine. So for production quality, I would give a 3 out of 5. And lastly, pacing and engagement. Honestly, the first 10 episodes of this drama, I was not enjoying it at all. It was very slow and it wasn't very engaging. But as the drama progressed, it started to pick up pace. The engagement was good, especially I think from the time when Rubab and Adil moved into the parents' house. That was when the drama really started to pick up for me, because that was where there were a lot of scandals in the house, and I think Adil had started the affair, and everything was just starting to happen from that point. Some parts as well in the middle were a bit slow, but overall it wasn't too bad after the first 10 episodes. And I think, as I mentioned before, the story was very engaging. Being able to see the simplicity of their relationship especially, and just how all the characters interacted, how the decisions the characters were making was affecting everybody. All those, honestly, I feel like really elevated the show. So pacing and engagement, I would give a 3.5 out of 5. Overall, I would say Kabhi Main Kabhi Tum is a hit. Not quite super hit for me, but very close to super hit. I thought it was a very, very good drama. I really enjoyed it. I was very engaged after a while, and I really wanted to know what was happening every episode. And I'm not surprised that it is as popular as it is in Pakistan. I think this was a very well executed drama, and with a drama like this, I think it shows that the Pakistani drama industry can produce good stuff, and especially when you have good writers for your show. So I think this is a very good testament to what is possible. And yeah, I'm very happy with Kabhi Main Kabhi Tum. But guys, there's one quick thing that I want to talk about, and that is you know how when you're watching, the sponsors pop up on the screen, and we kept seeing Skin White, and I think Skin White is probably the biggest sponsor of the drama because it was in every episode. And while I understand that they're sponsors of the drama, I can't help but feel uneasy about that. I don't know what it's like in Pakistan, but I think if Pakistani dramas are meant to branch out and reach international audiences, stuff like this will not be received very well, because this issue of skin whitening is one that is very controversial, and I don't think companies should still in 2024 be, advocating and producing these kinds of things, because we already know all the fights we've had about beauty standards and loving your skin and the way it is. I don't see any reason why people should still be wanting to whiten their skin. So I don't know, what do you guys think about that? Like, let me know in the comment section how you feel about Skin White still being a sponsor, but that's just my opinion. So let me know what you guys think. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know as well what your thoughts are on Kabhi Main Kabhi Tum, and I will see you in the next video. Khuda Hafiz.